Welcome to Play With It. Welcome to Play With It with Cass Allen. Thank you for joining me today. And today we're talking about the dating pool, as we have been doing since the show began. In particular, today and this week, we're talking about celebrations during the dating season. Last episode was all about anniversaries. Today we're talking about birthdays. Everybody has one once a year. Not all people celebrate, though. On the other hand, some people celebrate a birthday in a very grand style. It's everything to them to celebrate the day that they were given life on the planet. They go way out. They have parties. They fly people in. They visit destinations. They take trips. They have hundreds of people attend their functions. We have people like that, and that's cool. To each his flavor, whatever you can afford and however you feel about yourself. Some don't want any gifts from anyone. Don't buy me anything. I'm not into gifts. So some don't like the type of gifts they get, but they want gifts. So many different values are placed on this. But in the context of dating, all of those things can become factors in how you're dating again and what kind of monkey ass you're getting. Some people equate how you treat them during celebratory moments is how you feel about them. It's my birthday. This is the day that I was born. Are you going to remember it? Are you going to acknowledge it? Are you going to call me? Are you going to text me? Are you going to send me regards in every communication channel possible? Are you going to buy me gifts? Are you going to give me a surprise party? Like, what are you going to do for me? About some of those gaps that you're not thinking about while you chasing the gap, you know, while you chasing that monkey ass, how long am I going to invest in this person? Do I even want to invest in this person? What if I fucking known you January 2nd and your birthday is January 5th? And that's our first date because you've been giving me all kinds of hints. You can take me out for my birthday. That's a perfect way to get to know each other. Do I come with a gift? And if I do, what? Y'all think about that shit. It's not for me to tell you what to do, but like, how do you handle situations like that? Do you even want to take somebody out for their birthday? Does more come with that? I just met you. Do I have to take you somewhere more special than I would take you if it was our first date? Do I have to spend more money because it's your birthday? I gotta have the people come and sing you a happy birthday, make sure you get the best of the night. You gotta have conversations. That's what this all comes down to. You hear all these questions. These be things y'all be rattling in your head while you getting dressed in the car and all that shit getting there. Ooh, I wonder, I wonder, I wonder. Y'all be like, I wonder if this, I wonder if that. Ask them. Just fucking ask them. I encourage y'all to do that all the time. Just, speak your mind. Do you like gifts? What kind of gifts do you like? What kind of gifts would embarrass you at this point in our relationship? What do you think is a safe gift? Maybe come up with a median under $50, under $20, under $5. I don't know. Everybody has different pockets. Under $100, no less than 12. I don't know. Whatever suits people. Sometimes when you have those conversations, you find out that you were both worried about the same thing, and there's nothing to be worried about. On the other hand, sometimes you find out while you talking about planning that date, if you have the right conversation, that date might get canceled because y'all, just don't click on some things. Maybe this person wants more from you than you realize. You thinking, oh, we just met, so I still only got to take you to the coffee house. Then it's their birthday. That's an interesting choice. That better have been discussed because that can be a great date. Don't get me wrong. I believe that a great date can occur anywhere. I've had some of my best dates so cheap, some of the most dissatisfying ones, spending a lot of money. And by a lot of money, I mean, like 4 digits to go out and have a good time with somebody, you know, for a day or a weekend and the shit is a fucking disaster. It suddenly feels like a lot of money. If it's a disaster, the shit goes well, you're like, oh my gosh, I had the best time of my life. You never mentioned the money. But let it go wrong. Let it go wrong. Let a birthday go wrong. I fucking spent blah 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 on you and you blah blah blah. Y'all know what I'm saying. I know y'all do. You know, think about the money, as well. It's dating season. You're not married, you're not committed. It's dating season. How long have you been dating? Has it been 5 years? Do you want to gift this person the world? Or, like we said, are you the type of person who can buy anything for people? And if you can, is it fair to gift people with such expensive things so early? I don't know. Somebody to me that's living in poverty and I give them a gift that's worth like the money of wealth, don't you think more than likely the people in the neighborhood are going to steal it anyway? I don't know, just a thought. I'm gonna give you a $60,000 car, and everybody within a 4 block radius is on Section 8. Don't you think they're gonna take that car? Like, wouldn't you want to do something more practical? Like maybe give me a job. I can earn that money, or give me the cash so I can get the fuck out of there. If you want to give me a gift, I'm just saying, at least try to be functional and let it have something to do with the person, which I would think would be kind of hard after just a few days together. That's why I touched on like the how long it's been going on, not just how long it's lasting. How long have I known you? Do I even know anything about you to get you a gift? I've gone on dates with women and I've talked to on the phone, and when I show up, I have something for them because of what I know about them. If they've mentioned their favorite flower, or, we've discussed something funny that might lead to me showing up with some odd object that instantly from some conversation we've had 6 weeks ago. Humorous shit. It's never like $1 million shit. It's stuff to connect to you, say hello, tip tip if you need it. If you don't, cool. If you got another method that works, that's cool too. The tips are for those who don't know what the fuck to do. It's a starter point. It's not you must do it this way all the time because that can get boring too. They'll be like, okay, this person has got this from somewhere else because they're stuck in a loop and haven't come up with anything else. Think about what you're doing. Um, and try to remember these dates if you're going to be going out with these people. Like I said, over the years, some of you been dating for like fucking 18 years, the same person. Try to remember that birthday. I think that's fair after that amount of time. No ring. The least you can do is buy me a cake once a year. If you don't want to upgrade rings and all that other shit and then risk, me getting half of what you got, at least remember to buy me a cake. Nobody said we're not gonna put monetary value on it, 'cause that's not fair. Everybody likes different types of cakes. Some things people like actually don't cost a lot of money. So just try to remember. You know, as I was saying, find out about the person. What do they like? Do they like surprises? I'll surprise you and not do anything. I'll tell you I will and I won't. I'm just kidding. That's not my personality in general. It's my personality to say it, to threaten it, but not to do it. What does this person mean to you? What type of value have you placed on this relationship? Again, as you're receiving those gifts, can this person afford it? What type of value have they placed on me? What type of work have they put in? Does it matter? Did the gift make you awkward? Do you feel it's too soon in a relationship to be trading the gifts that have been traded? Some people come on too strong sometimes. When do you give gifts back? When do you tell people this is uncomfortable? Do you just accept the gift, and then go and justify it later? I didn't want to hurt their feelings, knowing damn well that gift meant, they feel that you feel a different kind of way for them than you do. What kind of honesty is coming with these gifts? Do you feel like you're being smuggled through the underground and they're giving you a quick kiss and they back off to something else? Are they taking time to spend to get to know things about you to make it fun, or they just showing up? Depending on what you want out of the dating season. Special occasions can tell you how people feel about you sometimes. Did that person even show up for you? Did you have to celebrate without them? Did they make an excuse why they couldn't be there? You know, Birthdays can take people through, that it's my birthday and I can cry if I want to. Shit be real. People be throwing damn tantrums on their birthday. I've seen friends actually have huge arguments and stop speaking because, one friend forgets the birthday or calls late at night, and you feel like, fuck it now. I'm not that friend. But I've seen these situations, I've seen people in relationships damn near break up over birthdays. You didn't buy me this. You didn't treat me right. You didn't show up. You didn't care, you know. When sometimes the other person just genuinely forgot. Sometimes you ever work so hard to remember a birthday, and then when it comes, it passes, and you're like, fuck, I tried so hard to remember it that I overshot myself. I know I've been there. Even with people I love very much, including very recently. I spent like 2 weeks talking about someone's birthday, and when it finally came, I missed the date. I was so upset with myself, But then I said to myself, you know what? Shit happens. This person knows my heart. I've loved this person for so long and give them unconditional love. They know who I am. So I had to get over that, and just accept that that just wasn't my day. So for you out there celebrating your birthdays too while you're dating, like don't read too much into that shit sometimes. Sometimes, especially if somebody doesn't really know you and you got all these expectations, it's like, yo, relax yourself. You know, Sometimes people just don't want to give a lot before they spend some time with you. They don't want to invest a lot. Spend that time with your friends. Don't start using a gauge to weigh factors and how someone feels about you completely. Even though sometimes you can find signs, more particularly with longevity. But in the beginning, people don't know you. They don't owe you anything. They're trying to get to know you. They're watching you. They're more so watching how your friends treat you and if they love you and if they're celebrating you. You know, what do you like to do on your birthday? They're not here to treat you like they've been with you 5 years and buy you all kinds of fucking gifts and make all kinds of toasts at a party and they just met you 7 days ago. Are you mad? Like think about what you be doing sometimes. Sometimes they don't even want to go to a birthday celebration with you after only knowing you that long. Be surrounded with all your intimate friends and family and loved ones and they don't know you you know so take a word of advice relative to selflessness. Just because it's your birthday, it doesn't mean that the whole world has suddenly become a movie set and you're in charge of everything. Think about how long you've known a person. Sometimes maybe you shouldn't even invite a person somewhere. I met you yesterday and my birthday happens to be tomorrow. It might not be a good idea to expose this person to all that in your life. And then 3 days after that, you never want to see them again because they've been vetted and you don't like them, you know? So, I say all this and wrap it around birthdays because people do things like that. They take it for granted. It's my birthday. This person is with me. Therefore, they feel like they have to do all kinds of things they wouldn't normally do, because you out with this person or you met this person in a situation, you know. If it's not for you, don't do it. Don't act like bust your ass trying to do something for a stranger. It's okay to show up with a little something just to say, I'm just acknowledging your day. If I get to know you and this goes somewhere, I'm looking forward to having a bigger celebration next year. That's it. Keep it real. Like I always tell y'all, keeping it real can get you some monkey ass too. A lot of times, it's very attractive. People respect you more when you're honest. You know, because like I say, the moment they find out you're not being honest, a lot of times they're not giving you anything anymore. I told y'all I try to keep these under half an hour, which I think is very important. I think between 20 and 30 minutes is fair. You know, get out the pebble for the day. Um, it's about, like I said, special occasions this week. We going through them because each one represents something different. You know, we spoke about anniversaries and how those things can come every other day. You know, happy anniversary week, happy anniversary month. It no longer represents a yearly thing, but a birthday we can't play with. You know, it comes around once a year, and sometimes you meet people at weird moments relative to their birthday. You know, it can get a little awkward. I think it's fair to talk about it like they do everything else. You know, like I'm encouraging y'all to do with everything else. You know, I understand your birthday is coming up, and I don't really know you. You know, if you can't afford a token, then just let them know. You know, I hope next year, you know, if I'm still knowing you, you know, maybe we can do something. Else, you know, I'm just going to wish you a happy birthday and have fun with your friends. You know, say it in a way to let them know you're not even trying to fuck with it. You know, have fun with your friends and family this year. You know, if that's what you got to do, if you feeling some kind of magic vibe and you want to offer yourself, then that's on you, you know. And if that person wants to take it, you know, that's on you for giving it up. But, you know, it's okay not to put yourself in a situation just because your birthday is 4 days from the day I met you. Or I met you, you know, 2 weeks ago. And you know, after 2 weeks, we a little freaky. We gave each other some monkey booty. Your birthday tomorrow. Like just because I gave you monkey booty today and your birthday's tomorrow, does that change what I would give you after 11 days just because you gave me some ass? I'm asking y'all because, you know, like I said, this is a judge-free zone. We here relaxing, talking shit about things in life, you know, that can matter a lot if you really apply them to your relationships and your dating. It can affect the outcome. You know, having a conversation about things that you not really thinking about. If you the type of person that when you meet someone and your nose open like this, and you just start smelling monkey booty and you forget every fucking sense and sensibility of your brain, they make you a checklist, you know. And you know, while your nose is flaring, just find the energy to hand it to the person so that you could at least get through this process, you know, and have these things written down, you know. It first gonna start out with I apologize for the flaring nose. That should be a standard. You know, it has blocked my ability to have conversation with you. I have prepared this list of things that, you know, I'm curious about. You know, I'd like to know, you know, when is your birthday? And depending on what they say, let that lead, you know, if it says within a week, have an arrow pointing to within a week on the paper, one within a month, one within 3 to 6 months. And based on what their answer is, they just go down that list and read the things that you want to know. Okay, your birthday is within a week. You do understand that I will not be buying you anything of significance, right? You know, like have disclaimer at the top after each category. You know, 3 to 6 months, you do realize I'm going to buy you something cute, but it's not, you know, we're not married or anything. You know, let them know how you feeling. This is things that you can expect. Let them know it's just a guideline. This may change with time because I may feel different about you. You know, I may put something down for 3 to 6 months that you would get, but you're not gonna get it anymore because this ain't going too fucking well. And I'm not sure if we're gonna make it to the seventh month. You know, it's fair to leave room for stuff like that. You know, we all have a prerogative. That's the bottom line, and use yours. You know, leave a little loophole space in this conversation. You know, you do realize that at some point I may change my mind about everything I say to you. Don't hold me to this because I'm human and I follow a journey. But this is how I'm feeling right now. And watch that monkey booty possibly open up for you because you're being honest and it's sexy. It's hot. And on that note, this has been Play With It with Cass Allen.